started. Awesome. Live, perfect. Okay, guys. I just wanted to address this real quick because I made a post on my Facebook page the other day, just out of frustration. It was a moment of weakness on my part, but I got frustrated because I was speaking with someone who was, just looking for a groomer. They were frustrated with their grooming experiences for their dogs, and they wanted me to groom their dog. And I explained to them why it takes me so long and everything, and why they probably aren't why they're not having a great experience with their groomers. It's probably because, let me do this, they're not taking care of their own dogs properly, so the groomer's having to do more work. And so anyways, um, it caused a big, um, it caused a lot of, it ruffled a lot of feathers, and I didn't mean to. I'm really sorry about that. It was just frustration, and I was trying to create awareness about the situation, the state of our industry. And that's really what I'm so frustrated about, is the state of our industry right now. We can't get groomers to agree on whether or not grooming should be a licensed profession. And I still can't believe that we're still having that argument. Why is that even an argument? Let's all get together, and once we can get on board and say, yes, grooming should be a licensed profession. We should be licensed by a state board run by groomers, professional groomers, vets, and even just members of the general public, right? Yeah. So here's the thing. All I can do is share my story, right? I was a professional groomer for like 2 years, and then I was grooming as a profession. I was making money. I was earning an income. That was my job. I was going out and earning money grooming dogs. And then I opened up my own shop, and I had lease signed, and I had a business license. I was ready to go. That's when I decided on my own to voluntarily pay and go take a coat course, just so I have a certificate to put on my wall, since I have a business now, right? So after 2 years of grooming as a profession, then opening up my own business, and then that was the first time I ever saw a picture of a dog's paw. And that's the first time I ever learned that there was an actual proper way to groom a dog and wash a dog properly. That's unacceptable to me. Like to work in an industry as a professional, and then start your own business in that industry, and then learn the basics, like what a dog's skin looks like. That's just unacceptable to me, and that's just my personal story. So and I think that most groomers are unaware of how it makes us look to the public, being unlicensed, being unregulated, like we are now. Because right now, we have nothing to stop someone from. There's no vetting process. There's no barrier to entry. Anyone can become a groomer. And so now what we have is a situation where things happen, and then we say, oh my goodness, that person had a criminal record. That person had a history of abuse. They should have never been grooming dogs. That's what we have right now. Instead of having a system where it says, wait a minute, you have a criminal history. You have a history of abuse. You cannot groom dogs. Something to vet people, a barrier to entry, and also some basic education about the skin, the anatomy of the skin, and cross contamination, how to prevent it. Sanitation, keeping things sanitized, keeping things clean so we don't cross contaminate, we don't cause, further injury and things like that. This is basic information. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that groomers should be tested on how well we can do a haircut, and we should be judged and criticized and things like that. No, I'm saying just like a person who works on people's nails, a nail tech, they're not tested at all on how well they paint the nails or what kind of colors they use or what style. No, what they're tested on is the anatomy, the cuticles, the skin, cross contamination. And I believe that groomers, we should have the same thing. We should be licensed. And another groomer was saying like, oh, it's gonna put grooming behind a paywall. The proposed price is $75 a year, $50 to renew. If that's what's keeping somebody from becoming a licensed professional groomer, $75 a year and $50 to renew, you probably have bigger issues to work on, you know? Um, what else is the other argument? One person even said, should the government regulate everything? You want the government to say require a license to have children? No, I have two daughters. I'm glad that there wasn't a license required to have kids, right? Because I wouldn't qualify. But I do want the person I take my daughter to get a haircut from. I do want the option to take her to a licensed professional, right? The person cutting my daughter's hair, I want them to be licensed, right? So, yeah, and it's like another argument. You're not going to stop the people from who are just going to groom out of the basement anyways. Yeah, but the thing is, you're not going to stop that person who's going to take their dog to that basement groomer. You're not going to get them to come to you. And even if you did, do you really want that headache? Let the basement shoppers go to the basement groomers, right? But at least let's have an option to have licensed professionals, and also that way there's some sort of recourse, right? If I hurt a dog, if I purposely injured a dog, right, or even killed a dog while I was grooming them, I might go to jail for a little bit for animal cruelty if they can prove it, right? But then once I get out of jail, what's to stop me from start grooming dogs again? Absolutely nothing, right? I mean, yeah, even if there was licensing, maybe I can move to another state. Maybe I can, try to hide and change my, but it's going to be very inconvenient. That's all I'm saying. Right now, there's nothing to stop someone. There's nothing to make it very inconvenient for somebody who has gone to jail for killing a dog while grooming them from opening up another business and starting to groom again. There's nothing stopping them. So that's the thing. Is like there are so many reasons why grooming should be a licensed industry. And now groomers are like, well, how are you supposed to do it? How are we going to do it then? I don't have all the answers. I don't know. But what I do know is that there's a bill that they're working on in New Jersey that looks pretty good. Let's read that bill. Let's try. Just because it hasn't been done yet doesn't mean it can't be done. And also, once we all come together as an industry, as professional groomers, and say, yes, we want to be a self-regulated, industry where we have groomers on a state board and there's licenses, right? Now we can start talking about how we can do that, right? How we can get that figured out. All I'm saying is that right now, there are a lot of dogs being injured, being hurt. People grooming dogs and they have no idea what they're doing. They're using Dawn dish detergent and they think that it's okay. They're not using conditioner and they're still charging people for it. And they're saying it's okay because it doesn't matter. There's so many things that are going on in the grooming industry that I've seen with my own eyes, working with other people, that it's just unacceptable to me. And I don't even know why we're even arguing about whether or not we should be using dish detergent on dogs. It shouldn't even be an argument if there was basic level of education and we understand what the dog's skin looks like. We understand what their pH is. We understand why the pH is so important. We understand why. If we had this basic foundational knowledge, we wouldn't even be arguing about whether or not we should be using Dawn dish detergent on dogs. It wouldn't even be an argument. It wouldn't even be an option. So many things that we're doing right now wouldn't even be an option if we had basic level understanding of how the dog's skin and coat actually functions. Let's learn that before we start interfering with it. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, I better start cleaning up. I gotta get going. Um, okay. Uh, okay. Okay. You know what, John? Let's talk about that. So there was a groomer that I found out. I looked up to. I'm not gonna say her name. She's kind of a leader in the industry. She still is. And I found out from another groomer that she has dog abuse on her record. She has a record. She's been in jail. Well, she was arrested, and she has that on her record of neglect and abuse or something like that. But she's still a dog groomer. So I messaged her privately and I asked her about it. And I just said, "Is this true? Do you have a charge on your record that you abuse dogs?" And she said, "Yes, but here's what happened." And she was like, "That was so long ago, and here's what happened." She explained the situation, and to me, it made sense. And I was like, "Man, I'm so sorry that happened." But that's what I'm saying. It's like when you have other groomers, professional groomers on a state board, then they can make this kind of decision. Like I'm not saying that anybody with anything on their record can't be a dog groomer. I have a DUI on my record when I was 19, and then I drove with a suspended license and I got caught. So I got a DUI and driving with a suspended license. I've been to jail twice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that people no, you have to have a clean record. What I'm saying is that let's just make sure that somebody who has a history of abuse doesn't become a dog groomer, right? Somebody who anyways, and that's why I think that it should be a board, not just one person, but a board of members, several professional dog groomers who are respected in their industry and by their peers, making these decisions. Okay, this person does have a DUI on the record, but they don't have a history of abuse and violence, you know? Anyways, I mean, keep arguing, guys. Keep arguing all you want. I don't care. At this point, I realize nothing's going to change, right? Nothing's going to change. People aren't going to change. I'm not the fixer of things. I get it. It was a moment of frustration. These are the reasons why I feel so strongly about it. But again, I'm very busy. I don't even know why I said anything. I'm not, yeah. So that's it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. We're probably not going to ever be a licensed industry in my lifetime. I understand that. I've given up. What I'm going to do is just focus on doing the very best for my clients, and I cannot take any more clients. So please stop emailing me, stop calling me. I cannot take any more clients. I am completely booked for the rest of the year into next year. So please, I cannot take any more. I'm overwhelmed. And I'm just really frustrated right now with everything, with the state of the industry, with everything. I really just want to be by myself, and I just want to go fishing. I want to be out in nature because trees never lie to me. I never feel anxious around trees. I never feel like nature is deceitful, but people are, and people are dishonest. People are deceitful. People are manipulative, and I just don't want to be a part of society anymore. I just want to go and run and hide. But anyways, I'm gonna go take care of my dogs, take care of myself. I hope everybody does the same.